Hello again, this is Renee from the Let's Be Real channel. If you're a fan of the Navy SEALs and you haven't already seen this, let's take a look at this disturbing information right here.
More on that in just a moment, but we start with the U.S. Navy because CBS News has learned of a letter from the commander in charge of the Navy SEALs warning that, quote, "we have a problem." Jan Crawford leads off our reporting tonight with some of the disturbing details.
In his letter, Rear Admiral Colin Green says the order and discipline problem must be addressed immediately so the SEALs can recalibrate our culture and regain our credibility. It was the SEALs who killed Osama bin Laden. The respect for their heroism has been undermined by a series of high-profile scandals. Most recently, a SEALs platoon kicked out of Iraq after a drunken 4th of July party and allegations of sexual assault. Those SEALs were from the same team as Eddie Gallagher, who was found not guilty of murder in the stabbing death of an ISIS fighter, but convicted of unlawfully posing with an enemy corpse. And still other scandals. 2 SEALs implicated in the hazing death of Special Forces Sergeant Logan Melger. And cocaine and other drug use in SEAL Team 10. CBS News obtained an internal Navy investigation that revealed SEALs passing drug tests by swapping out their urine with clean samples and calling the drug testing program a joke.
So the problems that we're having now isn't just in the last year or two.
Retired Navy SEAL Eric Deming is one of several who have come to CBS News over the past 2 years with complaints about corruption. He spoke this week to David Martin.
I got 2 boys that are old enough and I wouldn't even let them be part of it.
Did you hear that? You got this retired Navy SEAL who says that he wouldn't even let his own kids become Navy SEALs because of the corruption, because of the drug use, because of the discipline problems that the Navy SEALs are having. And I've said this from the beginning, especially when people are trying to compare the Navy SEALs to the elite Army Delta and saying, well, the Navy SEALs are the best in the world, even the Army Delta or any other special forces unit in the entire earth. Okay, listen, people, the Navy SEALs are overrated. I've said it before. They are a Hollywood creation. They are a media hype. And now the media is catching up to the truth. Okay? And you know why they have a discipline problem? Because discipline and immaturity go hand in hand. And you can practically be a high school graduate. Not practically, you can be a high school graduate, a 17-year-old high school graduate, in fact, and you can actually go to BUD/S training with very little experience under your belt, other than naval basic training, which is a joke. While in the Army Delta, you have experienced, sometimes combat veteran soldiers who reach average ages of 35 before they become Army Delta operators. The lack of discipline equals the lack of immaturity in the Navy SEALs. If these young men are able to complete the training, they believe themselves to be gods. They believe themselves to be heroes. They believe themselves to be the best of the best untouchables. And what does that lead to? That leads to a bunch of arrogant, undisciplined band of corrupted individuals. There are even some who are selling their knowledge for money. Where you might ask where? They're selling their knowledge to video games. They're selling their knowledge to movies. I mean, they're just acting irresponsible. Okay? That goes hand in hand with lack of discipline and lack of maturity. Okay? That's just one example there, showing you guys that Navy SEALs are truly an overrated combat force. There's actually losing the battle, okay, to keep their integrity in place. You don't believe what I'm saying? Do your own research.